Now let us continue with language study. Now in this particular topic, we have to use the words that are given as a noun in a separate sentence, and then in another sentence we have to use the same word as a verb, as an action. Now the first one given over here is value. Now whenever you have to use a verb as a particular word as a noun, you can add the before it or an article before it, or when you have to use it as a verb, you can add to before it. Now if I have to write a sentence for value as a noun, I could say that he has old-fashioned values, or I could say that he tried to estimate the value of the produce. Now as a verb, I could say that I value these old photographs, or I could say that I value time. Now the next sentence, not, based on a noun. Now if I have to write a sentence based on a noun, so I'll say that his stomach was in knots. The next one, if I have to use the same word as a verb, I'll say that knot the shoelaces. So here knot symbolizes the action of knotting. The next sentence, travel. So travel as a noun, we could say that he enjoyed selling but hated the travel. The next sentence, if you have to use it like a verb, you can use it in so many different ways. You can say that we travel quite often to different places, or you can write down I like to travel to different places. Now moving ahead to the next one, return. Now if I have to use return as a noun, I can start by saying that on his return we threw a party. The next, if you have to use it like a verb, like an action, I'll say that one should always return a compliment, or we should always return the things that we have borrowed. The next one, reach. Reach as a noun, we can include a sentence, we can say that he was beyond the reach of wild animals. The next one, if we have to use it like a verb, we'll say that if we reach early, it is better, or we need to reach on time. The next one is the word knock. So now knock, if I have to use it as a noun, I could say the knock on the door was loud, or the knock on the door was heard everywhere. If I have to use it like a verb, I'll use it like an action word, knock on the door to get in. Or we decided to knock first and then enter. Now moving ahead to the next word, attack. Now attack as a noun, we could write down that attacks on women are increasing, or you could also write down the attack was all over the news. The next one, if I have to use it like a verb, I'll include a sentence that says that we could not attack them in the day. The next sentence, the word mark. If we have to use it in a sentence as a noun, this is how you could write a sentence. His arrows hit the mark. The next one, as a verb, they mark all potential dangers. Now moving ahead to the next question. Here you have to give the different meanings of the compound words that are there. Now whenever there are two separate words that are combined together to make a new word with a different meaning, such words are called as compound words. Words such as breakfast or blackboard or sunflower are compound words. Now we have to use the dictionary and give the meaning for these compound words. Now when I say arm loads, it simply means a load that can be carried with one's arms. The next one, driftwood. Now driftwood simply talks about the wood that is there on the seashore, that has been washed on the seashore because of the action of the sea waves and the wind. The next one, cross currents. Now when I talk about cross currents, it could be the movements of the air or the water that is moving in the opposite direction. The next word over here, footprints. Footprints could mean a mark or an impression that is left by a foot. The next word is fireplace. Now fireplace of course talks about a place for a domestic fire to keep warm. The next word is the word spyglass. Now spyglass could mean a small telescope to watch distant objects.